A race is going on and in between पता नहीं कहां से race track पे camels आ गए and guess what, Akshay Kumar and Arshad Warsi are riding these camels.
ये क्या है?
और ये लोग ऊंट के ऊपर कार्स की ओर चार्ज कर रहे हैं.
वाह क्या सीन है.
But what the hell was that? Typical Bollywood senseless brain rot. What's up guys, you are already watching Cinema is Life. Today I'll be reviewing Jolly LLB Part 3. No, Jolly LLB Part 1 with Arshad Warsi, Jolly LLB Part 2 with Akshay Kumar. मैं तो भाई दोनों मूवीज़ का बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ. मेरे को तो बहुत पसंद है ये दोनों मूवीज़. I mean, the two things which make these courtroom dramas stand out from the rest is one, slapstick comedy. Really good quality, rib-tickling slapstick comedy, which I personally like a lot. And number two, whatever the case may be, we know these are courtroom dramas, whatever the case may be, the scenario, a David versus Goliath story. एक लल्लू सा लोअर कोर्ट का वकील फाइटिंग अ केस अगेंस्ट अ पॉश हाई लेवल सुप्रीम कोर्ट वकील. दैट डेविड वर्सेस गोलियाथ स्टोरी. सो दीज आर द टू थिंग्स व्हिच आई रियली लाइक अबाउट दिस franchise. And then when recently it was announced that they are coming with a third film and they are bringing both Arshad Warsi and Akshay Kumar together, I was really excited. And to be honest, Jolly LLB film franchise is not just about either Arshad Warsi or Akshay Kumar. It's also about Saurabh Shukla, Judge Tripathi. भाई क्या iconic character है, epic character है. So the combination of Arshad Warsi, Akshay Kumar and Saurabh Shukla, the trailer was impressive. It was again promising slapstick humor and everything. And trailer देख के ऐसा लग रहा था कि it's going to be Arshad Warsi versus Akshay Kumar. So I was pretty excited. I booked a ticket. I went to the theater to watch it yesterday. And I was very disappointed with the movie, guys. It was a very bad film. Now let me tell you why it was a bad film. Jolly LLB 3 is also directed by Subhash Kapoor, the same guy who directed Part 1 and Part 2. The story followed in this movie is based on real life events, what happened in the villages of Bhatta and Parsaul in Uttar Pradesh in 2011, where the villagers accused the government of forcibly acquiring their land for development projects. The villagers say that they were asked to forcibly give up their land, that the compensation which the government was giving them wasn't adequate enough. But on the other hand, the government argued that such acquisition was important for development projects to come up for the betterment of the nation, and that the compensation that they were offering to the villagers was generous enough. So the villagers file a case, and how the two jollies get embroiled in this case is what forms the story of this movie. Now, the makers have taken a lot of creative decision to change the overall context from Uttar Pradesh to Rajasthan. They've changed the type of development project. In real, it was for a highway project, the Yamuna Expressway project, but over here in the film, they changed it to a city development project as such. Now I'm going to tell you why I didn't like the film. Point number one. Jolly LLB film franchise is known for its courtroom proceedings, but इसमें अरशद वारसी एंड अक्षय कुमार को सोशल एक्टिविस्ट बना दिया भाई. विलेजर्स के साथ प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, एकदम बॉलीवुड स्टाइल प्रोटेस्ट गाइस. There's a brain rot interval sequence in this film, my god. So this big company which is promised to build a city here in Rajasthan, they sort of build a racetrack in between the desert. So the inauguration of the racetrack is happening, a race is going on, and in between पता नहीं कहां से racetrack पे camels आ गए. And guess what? Akshay Kumar and Arshad Warsi are riding these camels and they are charging against the race cars. ड्राइवर्स एकदम डर गए, रेस कार्स को रिवर्स कर रहे हैं और ये लोग ऊंट के ऊपर कार्स की ओर चार्ज कर रहे हैं. एंड दे कम एंड स्टैंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ द सेंट्रल एरिया ऑफ द होल रेस ट्रैक वेयर द मेन विलन्स आर सिटिंग, द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनी पीपल आर ऑल सिटिंग. एंड उन दोनों के सामने आके एकदम खड़े होकर दोनों एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ के एकदम ऐसे ये कर रहे, एकदम जैसे WWE में टैग टीम चैंपियनशिप जीत गए हैं. भाई व्हाट द हेल वाज दैट? दिमाग खोल गया यार ये स्क्रीन पे जब देख रहा था. नॉट जस्ट मी बट द पीपल ऑल सिटिंग बिसाइड मी. एंड उसके बाद इंटरवल हुआ एंड मेरे साइड में जो लोग बैठे थे दे वर इटसेल्फ सेइंग कि भाई सही तो चल रही थी मूवी, ये क्या दिखा दिया करके. टिपिकल बॉलीवुड सेंसलेस ब्रेन रॉट. पॉइंट नंबर टू, वेरी फिल्मी कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग्स. I am not a law expert or a lawyer, but I know for a fact that solid proof is what matters most in court cases. Over here in the film, all the arguments that Akshay Kumar and Arshad Warsi give, they're all very subjective. They're all very emotion-based arguments. They don't have solid proof to back their points. And इसके basis पे judgment दिया जा रहा है. I mean, that's just nonsense. Is this what is happening in real also? If there are lawyers watching this video, just tell me in the comments, because I believe this is not what's happening in real life. Solid proof is what needed, but इधर तो भाई बस emotions के basis पे खेला जा रहा है and exploitation के basis पे arguments मारा जा रहा है without any proof, which was very senseless. Then the relationship between the judge who gives the decisions and the lawyers, Saurabh Shukla, Akshay Kumar, Arshad Warsi. I mean, we've seen in the previous two films that they all have a very comic relationship inside the courtroom, but not outside. In this film, कोर्ट के बाहर भी इनके बहुत सारे कॉमेडी सीन्स है, विच जस्ट मेक्स मी बिलीव कि भाई ये तो एकदम मतलब बायस हो गया ना. lawyers being able to meet their judges outside the court, and not just formal meetings. I'm talking about dinners and a lot of comedy scenes outside. That's just bias. I don't think that's happening in real life. ये तो कोर्ट की इंटेग्रिटी को ही हार्म कर रहा है ना. This is what's happening in this film. The problem is that the film takes itself very seriously. Ekdam serious issue, real life issues. They're trying to show it in as real way as possible. But the comedy and all is just making it very superficial. So what you do is you either establish the fact that this entire movie is a spoof movie and everything, or if you want to show it in a very real way, then you have to make the audience believe that it's real by not adding superficial comedy scenes. Point number 3, the main villain of this movie. So in Jolly LLB Part 1 and Part 2, the main villains were the opposition lawyers. As I said earlier, a David versus Goliath story, a lower level lawyer fighting it against a very high posh Supreme Court level lawyer. Bowman Irani in Part 1, Anu Kapoor in Part 2, both of them did amazing jobs, were negative aura, that superior aura, it was well established. But in Jolly LLB Part 3, the main villain is not the opposing lawyer. ये तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनी के मालिक को विलन बना दिया, played by Gajraj Rao. I mean, he started off well. I was, sort of like, हाँ, this is a good villain. But then as the film went by, it just became a joke. And then opposition वालों का lawyer कौन है? Ram Kapoor. He was just not able to match that evil, superior aura which was portrayed by Bowman Irani and Anu Kapoor in the previous films. So the overall villain-based aspects of this film just didn't sit right with me. Finally, point number 4, the comedy in this film. The Jolly LLB film franchise is known for its slapstick comedy, what's happening inside court, comedy between the lawyers and the judges. This movie mein mainly comedy is Arshad Warsi versus Akshay Kumar, which was okay in the beginning, but then the movie took a very serious turn. It became sort of like a social activism based movies, और अपने दोनों heroes Akshay Kumar और Arshad Warsi को भाई एकदम social superheroes बना दिया, and comedy was just pushed behind. Comedy inside the courtroom was also absent. जो था बहुत over the top था. So the tried and tested success formula of Jolly LLB franchise, comedy and the David and Goliath story, was not at all utilized in this film, which was the main reason which I feel that I didn't find this film impressive enough. So finally, to conclude, Jolly LLB Part 3 wasn't as impressive as Part 1 and Part 2. The tried and tested formulas which was used in the 2 previous movies were not utilized in this movie. This movie became too serious. It became sort of a social activism based movie which just didn't sit right with the overall tone of the franchise. I wouldn't recommend you guys to go and watch this in the theater. It's going to come to Netflix very soon, so you can watch it when it comes on OTT. So that was my review of Jolly LLB 3. I will be back with another review. Till then, take care, goodbye, and don't forget to...
Okay, thank you.